Shanquella Robinson went to Mexico with her friends. She arrived early on Friday the 28th, and her family says the next morning she was dead.
Shanquella was a 25-year-old entrepreneur from Charlotte, North Carolina. Many knew her as Quella, who ran a very successful hair extension and braiding business. She also owned a women's clothing boutique called The Exquisite Boutique. October 28, 2022, Shanquella took a trip to Cabo, Mexico, but what was supposed to be a fun girls trip soon turned deadly, and within 24 hours of their arrival, Shanquella would be dead. Shanquella spoke to her mother the night of her arrival, letting her know that she arrived safely and was ready to go out to dinner with her friends. The trip seemed to be going great. However, the next day, her mother received a frantic call from her friend Khalil, stating that Shanquella was resting and was not feeling well after throwing up from a hangover. Shanquella's mother asked Khalil to keep her informed and to have her daughter call her when she gets better. Instead, he calls back to let her know that paramedics were at the villa and they tried to help Shanquella, but it was too late. She had passed away from alcohol poisoning. He also claimed that the maid found her unconscious in her living room. After that dreadful phone call, the friends quickly rushed out of Mexico and headed back to the U.S. The story did not sit well with Shanquella's family. They demanded more clarity. Shanquella's friends decided to stop by her parents' home to drop off her belongings and explain exactly what happened on a trip.
Each one of the people that was there with her was telling different stories.
The families decided to make calls to the FBI and the Mexican authorities, and they quickly learned of another potential cause of death. When the autopsy came back, it said that Shanquella's death didn't have anything to do with the alcohol. In fact, there was no alcohol in her system. It was reported on the autopsy that Shanquella had a broken neck and her spine in the back was cracked. Photos released to the family showed Shanquella's face was swollen, she had a knot on her head, her eyes were swollen, and her lips were split. This took the case to a whole nother level because it meant that someone attacked her. Her sister Keela Long revealed in an interview that the family had received several phone calls from people in Mexico who claimed that a physical fight took place where Shanquella was beaten up. They were informed that Shanquella was jumped on and that her friends were the ones who beat her up. But all of her friends denied the accusations, and so the family went on to believe the alcohol poisoning claims. Her sister also recalled Shanquella's best friend Khalil seemed to be nervous when he met the family. She says, "Now that stuff done happened, I go back and say that's why he was pacing. I mean, you would have thought he was coming off something like he was high. He was nervous, he was sweating, and he was grabbing his beard. It had to be eating him up." Well, a disturbing video of what really happened to Shanquella has gone viral across all social media platforms. It is one of the most chilling and heart-wrenching things to watch. In the gruesome video, a naked Shanquella is being punched in the head, slung to the ground, and viciously beaten up by one of her friends, Dejani Jackson. At one point, she drags her down to the ground and stomps on her head. Absolutely no one intervenes or tries to aid her in any way. Instead, they are cheering on the aggressor, and the man who was recording the fight could be heard saying, "At least fight back." And at one point, Shanquella says no, she isn't fighting back. The gruesome clip is about 30 seconds long, but you can imagine the abuse that she suffered in the hands of her friends. There are so many unanswered questions. Did they lure her to Mexico just to kill her? Why was she naked in the room, especially in front of the male friends? It didn't seem like she had a way out. She was outnumbered. And the most important question, why was she viciously attacked? And why did her friends rush to leave Mexico? When they brought her belongings back to the family's home, they even tried to console the family and act as if they had no idea about what happened to Shanquella, denying all reports of a fight. One person that she went with says that he was not there during the attack. In fact, his flight was late, and by the time he arrived, it was too late.
So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good, so I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag, and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart and hope that Quella wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quella was not dead when I got there.
Did he not notice the bruises on her face and head? Why did he not inform the family immediately of his findings? Her best friend, the one who filmed the violent attack, actually posted a tribute before the video went viral. He says, "My heart is so effing torn. And all I can ask is why, or what could I have done differently? They say not to question God, but this right here just ain't sitting right with me. He quickly deleted that picture after the viral video went up. In fact, he deleted his whole account. And other than a friend who posted the IG live, no one else has spoken out regarding what happened to her. They all have deactivated their social media accounts, changed their phone numbers, and can't be found, which looks very suspicious. It almost screams they're guilty. Her family is demanding answers, and they deserve to know the truth. Her friends cost her life and have created a fake story to hide their involvement. A cause of death has not been ruled yet, and Shanquella's family had to pay $6,000 to get her body flown back to the United States. Despite the medical reports stating that Shanquella had a broken neck and a cracked spine, Mexican authorities refused to press charges on anyone. Although an official statement on how the victim sustained the injuries has not been released, it may be due to her getting assaulted by her friends. For her to have a broken neck and a cracked spine, the trauma had to have been immense. This was a very severe beating. She was violently murdered, and someone knows the truth. The facts of the case are somewhat murky, but what has been confirmed is that Shanquella Robinson never left the villa the night before, and that her body was discovered by a maid the following day. This has sparked a lot of interest with the U.S. officials, and the U.S. Department of State is looking into her death. They say, "We are aware of these reports regarding Robinson. Protecting the welfare of U.S. citizens overseas is among our top priorities. Out of respect for the privacy of those involved, we have no further comment at this moment." The severity of the injuries on Shanquella's body proves their hatred towards her. The video recording further proves that this was a calculated, cold-blooded, and sinister plot to not only shame her, but completely get rid of her. 6 friends lured Shanquella Robinson to her death. May her soul rest and her family receive the justice that she deserves. We are praying for the family of Shanquella Robinson. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any crime news.